All right, we are live for the first Culture of Care series. We are talking on every Friday now, or let's see, there she is. Hi, Annika. Um, so I was just saying, this is going to be the first of a series of lives that we're going to do on Fridays. And basically what I wanted to do in the spirit of caring for mama, starting this Culture of Care series is really my way of bringing the stories to life of these amazing women and entrepreneurial women and product makers and, providing all these amazing services to women and moms everywhere. And I just felt like the stories that all of these women have and the why behind their businesses and why they're creating these beautiful products and how they're impacting women all over. I just felt like it was a service that I needed to bring. I wanted to share in all this goodness. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And I wanted to bring Annika on first. We met not that long ago at an event at Fox Point Farms, for those of you all who are in San Diego. It's an amazing venue up in the Encinitas Leucadia area. And yeah, we were there with Wildflower Wellness. Shout out to Karen Cook. And I just loved your energy and the connection we had, and excited to include your loose leaf tea in an upcoming box. But yeah, I thought we could spend some time today learning about you and your story and how you got into your work. And you can share a little bit about your why and your story, and we can go from there.
Absolutely. I am excited. Um, yeah, so I am a holistic health practitioner and I'm a somatic coach. So my clients that normally come to me, they are usually anxious, feeling burnt out, depressed, and usually just haven't gotten the answers or at least the relief that they're looking for with just more of the mainstream medical services that we have, whether that's talk therapy or medications, which are both very helpful. But the people coming to me, they want to dig deeper. And that's where we start with the somatic embodiment practices and really helping their nervous system to come back into regulation after whether it's chronic stress or trauma or even things like infections, mold, or gut issues. And so those are the people that I serve. And the reason why is really more of just my personal experience with supporting my own body, the people around me that, again, were needing the support. We're needing to see, relief from if it's mood imbalances or digestive issues from chronic stress and trauma, but not getting that and not having those root cause answers. So that's why I opened my practice. I was just passionate to help women. A lot of the people that I'm working with are new mamas, and sometimes, going through pregnancy, we can get super depleted. I mean, pregnancy depletes our minerals like 10%, which is like around 4 pounds of our minerals we're giving to baby as baby's growing every single pregnancy. So a lot of the people I work with also, we're just working on remineralizing to support their mood and digestive balance too. But this is where I found my answers is holistic health and really looking to, gosh, just like what have we as humans been doing for thousands of years to take care of ourselves? Because it's been working great, up until this point where we kind of shifted 100 years ago. We shifted into, more of I want to say more of a masculine, but I mean more in like a yang type of way. We're not really looking at our body as like, how can I work with you? It's more of how can I force you to do something that I want you to do with either, if it's surgery or, drugs, etc., which again can all be life-saving. So it's good we have it, but we need to have more of a fluidity between when is this necessary and when can I actually just take care of my body, the wisdom that we've always had. So looking at traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda is something that's important to me as well.
Amazing. And I know you have your own unique story, which is, we all have our stories and why we start our businesses and why we're so passionate about the work we're doing. So maybe you can share too a little bit about your journey in your own healing and how you're seeing that play out with clients that you're working with, like in their own healing experiences, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So for me personally, I would say the biggest thing was knowing that I had a lot of stressful and even traumatic experiences in my past, but not knowing why do I feel bad all the time? I'm safe now. I'm totally okay now. And I think that's a big part of it for a lot of us is we've gone through a lot of experiences and we're okay now, but something's going on with our body now. And that's the biology of trauma. So trauma and chronic stress actually in our cell, it's doing stuff in our cell. Our cell has that cell danger response. So I found myself just depleted, getting sick all of the time, just feeling like, wow, I know that I'm safe, like up here. I know that I'm fine. I'm not in a bad, and I'm in a safe environment now with safe people around me. But I have digestive issues. I have, a lot of anxiety that I didn't really know what to do with. Low moods would happen as well. And so for me, it was really being able to lean into what I knew already about holistic medicine and work with the people that could support me and help me dig deeper. And even though it's been years of my own healing journey and supporting myself and feeling so much better. Even within the past year, I hit a little bump in the road where I was, having more stress again, and it was coming up again, and digestive issues. And so being able to work with my practitioner and having someone that I could lean on and say, hey, even though, like probably a lot of your audience, they know a lot about holistic health. But having that extra support to say, hey, I'm going to walk beside you, help you see those blind spots. And for me, it was just a zinc deficiency that my body was just like, I'm depleted. And so starting to correct that, I'm already feeling so much better. And it's wonderful because it's a testament to what I do with my clients, but being able to experience it myself just makes me that much more excited to share it.
Amazing. Yeah, it made me think too as you're talking, for those that are listening and, like you said, maybe have worked with a holistic practitioner or are aware of that space and our need to be balanced. The reality is when we're busy with little ones or we're, pregnant and, we just don't have a lot of space and time and energy to replenish our own needs. I'm wondering if you can share a couple of quick tips or things that you've shared with your clients or that your mom specific clients have found particularly helpful, or things that are easy to remember in moments of stress or moments of, the hurriedness of life.
Yeah, definitely. So with my pregnant mamas or with the women that come to me who are wanting to get pregnant and wanting to just fortify and resource their bodies well, I always talk to them about checking their minerals, which is really easy to do. It's a non-invasive test. It's just a little bit of hair. It's like less than a teaspoon of hair. And so I will check that before pregnancy, even during pregnancy, and after, because again, we're using so many minerals up. But the reason I highlight that is because it's a simple thing we can do, even just getting a good electrolyte and just starting there. Starting with taking, I like Optimal Electrolyte by Seeking Health. It's a great source of potassium and sodium. So that's really important, especially if you're noticing things like when I stand up, I get dizzy, I have that energy crash in the afternoon. Those are all pointing to adrenal, you know, hypoadrenal. So our adrenals aren't able to push out the stress hormones as they should normally so that we have that energy throughout the day. So that would be a simple one that I would suggest is checking your minerals. Really easy to do, but even before doing the test, you can also just grab those electrolytes and take those daily because we all really really benefit from minerals. It's not in our food anymore. Even if you're eating a whole food, really good diet, it's harder to get those minerals only from food just because of the way that we're farming nowadays, and hopefully that will change soon. But that's something that is really important is our minerals.
That's great to hear. And when you said the standing and feeling dizzy, I have experienced that so often. And I think we all recognize that we're dehydrated to some extent, but I don't think we always connect hydration with minerals. And I know that's why a lot of these electrolyte powders, like we have the Good Anya hydrate powder in our boxes, and there's minerals in there, of course, because it's important for replenishment. So that's a really helpful reminder, and something we can keep in mind as we're looking at, things that might be off, and contributing to our stress response and feeling, like our nervous system's depleted, which also brings me to the loose leaf tea that we've talked about. So obviously, as I'm talking with practitioners and providers like Annika, I'm always, I have the mind of, okay, what product could I include in these boxes? Because ultimately, the care packages that we're putting together for caring for mama are intended to, really support mind, body, and spirit of moms everywhere. And that, I'm really looking for products that you just can't find anywhere else. So I really feel like it's these hidden gem products that I can deliver to women, and it just feels like goodness. So the tea that you told me about that we are planning to include in a future box, so keep an eye out, is your nerve tonic, right? Or mood tonic, excuse me. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your mood tonic, what's included in that, and then we'll.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna grab a bag just because I have them and I forgot to grab one right before the call. But so this is the mood tonic, and it has lemon balm. What do I put in this? Lemon balm, oat straw, licorice, peppermint, lavender, and chamomile. So it tastes really good, but I created it specifically for supporting our nervous system. So mood tonic has a bunch of nervine herbs in there. And I love the milky oats, the oat straw, because that's really been used traditionally in herbalism to nourish the nervous system. It has a lot of minerals in it, so it supports our body in just feeling calmer and more present in the moment, and it really helps with anxiety, nervousness. But over the long term, as you're drinking it every day, it's really nourishing, like just this beautiful tonic to support the nervous system for those frazzled nerves. And it's actually supporting the nerve endings and those nerve fibers in the body, with all the minerals. So that's the tea that I created for my clients, and with them in mind. And I love it. I drink it every day as well.
It sounds amazing right now, actually, so I'll have to work on that. You also shared with me kind of like a ritual to drinking loose leaf tea. I think a lot of us are used to grabbing the pre-bagged teas that are also delicious, but there's something really special, especially as I know you're into herbalism, and I'm also, walking my path in herbalism, and there's something so beautiful about connecting with the actual herbs and plants, which is where these teas come from, right? So can you talk through quickly what that regimen looks like, and sort of ritual that you use? Because I think it's fun, whether they're drinking your tea, which I hope they do, or others. I think it's a nice way to give ourselves space and time.
It really is. It's about giving ourselves space and time, because and I have lots of tea that's just, it's already prepackaged. I love traditional medicinals, herbal teas. But I also love loose leaf, and it's in general it's more fresh because we're getting it, it's not been bagged for so long. And the reason I love it is because in the mornings I'll go and I'll just grab, it's about a tablespoon that you just put, and I have this cute little this little tea strainer. I like to use the steel, so there's no aluminum in there. But it's so lovely to be able to actually touch the herbs, smell them as you're getting them out of the bag, and let them steep, and you can smell that as well. And it feels like we're just, honestly, it's kind of like I feel like we're in potions class in Harry Potter. We're making our potions. But it's a really lovely way to just be able to connect with those herbs. And we don't get to do that all the time. So it just takes a little bit extra time, like a few extra seconds, rather than just putting the tea bag in. But it's cultivating that relationship with the plant medicine that's really, really special. And I think that's part of herbalism, is connecting with the plants as we're, drinking them and as they're taking care of us. So that's why it's loose leaf.
I love that, because sometimes I feel like the loose leaf tea will just sit there and people don't necessarily, it's like, oh, it's going to take too much time. Well, that's actually the point, take that time. I think that's also what we're talking a lot about with the idea of self-care, and that it doesn't have to be a big production going, for a full spa day or something, that these little micro moments throughout our days where we, pause and take a breath, step outside and put our feet on the grass, or, touch the earth under our feet, or take a little extra time to add in a ritual and enjoying this loose leaf tea. So I love that idea. I'm gonna actually do that in my own life. So this has been lovely. I know we wanted to, really just get your story out, and have you share what's special about the work that you're doing. And I'm just so grateful that you're doing the work you're doing. How can people find you, Annika? And then I'll tell them they can find your tea soon in the box.
Yay! Yeah, you can find me at my website is nourishedbynature.co, so .co, and you can book your first session right there. And that's where I will, we'll do a history intake, and I will help you co-create a plan for your wellness, whether that's going through my Regulate and Restore package, which is created for the women who are feeling burnt out, stressed, anxious, or whether that's a custom package for you, so whether I'm working with, sometimes I work with teens, and we'll definitely do a shorter package that makes more sense for them. But yeah, that's where you can find me, nourishedbynature.co.
Thank you so much, Annika. I appreciate all your insights, and yeah, your focus on nervous system regulation and just supporting us through nature and through herbs. I really feel like it's the way we're moving as a society. There's more and more interest in herbalism, myself included. And so I do think this is the way we're moving. So I'm really excited to have your mood tonic in an upcoming box. And yeah, we'll look forward to keeping you connected with Caring for Mama. Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you so much. Take care.